Namaste, angels. This is the weekly general reading, and it goes through August 29th. There's nothing on the Hebrew or Islamic or even planetary or celestial calendars that I'm going to talk about this week, with the exception of just letting you know that on August 25th, we do experience the quarter moon, 2 degrees Sagittarius. And I do think that for Geminis in particular, because Sagittarius is not only our mirror sign, our mirror opposite, right? But it also rules our 7th house of relationships and partnership. And like I said, it's 2 degrees Sagittarius. 2s are also about partnership and relationship. And so I think that for us, that quarter moon or 825 could mean something. It may also mean something for Capricorns, because Sagittarius is ruled by Jupiter, which is currently retrograde, located in the sign of Capricorn. May also mean something for Scorpios, because their ruling planet, Pluto, is also located there in the sign of Capricorn, along with Jupiter, the ruler of Sagittarius. And lastly, let's see, Jupiter, Pluto, and Saturn. So we already had the Capricorns covered. So yes, Sagittarius, Scorpio, Capricorn, and of course Gemini was the first one that I listed. And I promise you I shuffled these cards, but I had that thought in my mind, and I ended up, sure enough, with the Knight of Wands as the first card. So the Knight of Wands is a positive card in any and every area of your life that it touches, upright like this. It's about travel, movement, action. Could be about messages that lead to action. If you're awaiting some sort of decision, likely to be positive, particularly in work. Somebody might have to travel for work. And somebody could be meeting somebody very interesting, maybe specifically a Gemini, Sagittarius, Scorpio, or Capricorn, if they're in the market to do so. Maybe somebody from their past that they know already. And they may or may not decide to rekindle things. I mean, the 6 of Cups is here, but it is in reverse. If not, maybe they can at least get some closure, some kind of clarity, truth coming out. Another possibility is, yeah, we are going to move forward, but it's sort of like a motley pairing, like a motley crew. It's people that seem mismatched or inappropriate for each other that could be coming together with the Ace of Swords here. And of course, this Ace of Swords could be representative of that Gemini energy that I talked about. This is interesting. The Sagittarius, Scorpio, or Capricorn is perhaps younger than said Gemini. And of course, it doesn't have to exactly be these signs. It could be somebody of these traits and or attributes also. And this, again, could also be about messages, somebody contacting you. And it could be about work and or travel as well, or messages, with regard to those things. Positive. It's upright here. The page, like the Knight, is, of course, an Aries, Leo, or Sagittarius, which I'm talking about. Very funny that the Wheel of Fortune is here. So the Wheel of Fortune upright and reverse pretty much mean the same thing. It's about a reversal of fortune. So if things have been going great for you, then you may experience a downturn. If you've been experiencing a downturn, things may all of a sudden, very quickly, take some sort of movement, action. Again, the Knight and the Page are indicative of positive action and messages and movement. Take a turn. Maybe also, because it's in reverse, not as strong and impactful as if it were upright, but it does represent the sign of Sagittarius, which is pretty funny. As does Major Arcana card Temperance. I promise you I didn't stack this deck. In fact, in a minute, I'm going to shuffle it in front of you. But Temperance also represents the sign of Sagittarius, and brings in this energy of Aquarius for me, because this is definitely a water bearer. I don't care what anybody else says, but an angel standing in a pool of water, pouring water between 2 vessels, is a water bearer, which represents the sign of Aquarius. The Temperance card is also about recovery restoration, something or someone being made whole, differences being resolved, collaboration, cooperation, working together for a common goal, maybe despite differences, all those things connected to Sagittarius. And maybe this is the Capricorn energy. Page of Pentacles here. And maybe he's upside down because this is representative of the conflict that they had. But it could be resolved, resulting in a Two of Wands. And maybe I'll stop here, right? Quit while I'm ahead. But of course, Two of Wands is the soulmate or twin flame card of the tarot. What is behind it? Okay, the Eight of Swords in reverse. So somebody that had been feeling stuck, not necessarily actually stuck, but feeling trapped in a situation, finds their way out. And that may lead them to something positive in the area of work or travel or movement, or certainly relationship with this Two of Wands here, which can also be representative of the Sagittarius energy. You may require someone to first put some effort into it. The Eight of Pentacles about reaping what you've sown. From where you put your effort is from where you're going to get the outcome. And Two of Pentacles in reverse can be about needing to decide, maybe if you're putting too much time and effort toward just work and not enough time into your own life, if there is some sort of imbalance that you're experiencing in one area or another of your life, and it could be about a decision you have to make. That gives way to the Eight of Wands in reverse. So again, that change and positivity, a new opportunity coming, but perhaps a little bit delayed in response to this feeling of being stuck. Eight of Swords back. Let's do one more. And this is funny because the High Priestess, it's Major Arcana card 2, first of all, represents sign of Gemini, second of all. So two of the things I've been talking about. But also, like the Temperance card, can be about differences. You see one of these columns here is black, one is white. Differences like that. Age, race, religion. Sometimes we're like religion versus spirituality. When the High Priestess is in reverse, she also may be having difficulty like receiving her psychic messages, understanding what her intuition is trying to tell her, hearing what her intuition is trying to tell her. It can be a guidance that you need to be still for a moment. I think I talked about being still in the Black Moon Lilith reading that I just did too. The need to just be still and listen to, your inner knowing. And that's what this can be about too. She's also somebody who is sometimes like body dysmorphic. Like she doesn't, and it doesn't have to necessarily be physical. I know body dysmorphia is really about the physical body, looking at it and saying it's horrible, I don't like it, and other people are like, what are you talking about? But it can definitely be that. It can be about physical or physicality, but it doesn't have to be. It can be like other things, because the High Priestess is someone who's very attractive to other people. She's super mysterious and smart and psychic. And so those are very attractive traits. But when she's in reverse like this, it's like she doesn't see it. She doesn't realize how powerful she is. Again, she's a Gemini or perhaps a water sign. Maybe the Scorpio. Maybe the difference is, we're talking about the pairings, is something like a Gemini and a Scorpio, because, they couldn't be more different, right? A Gemini can to a Scorpio come off very superficial. They think that we're aloof, that we're not as deep as they are. And that's because that is literally like the surface of a Gemini. We let very few people see the rest of us. Very few people see the rest of us. We have to, really trust you and care to let you in. So that's not instant. That takes a minute. And sometimes at face value, a Scorpio can look at that and not knowing that and not knowing you, think, this is all just to this person. That's it. No depth, nothing interesting, because you haven't been let in yet. I also think it's interesting. Look what we got back to. After all that shuffling, cutting, we're here back to the Six of Cups in reverse. So this must be one of the major messages. And that Seven of Wands that we saw is also back. So this could be defending your beliefs and decisions. Maybe the decision that one is making with the Knight of Wands, perhaps with regard to something that's coming up from your past, possibly a relationship, possibly a soulmate relationship from your past. All right, so I'm going to get the stands also, put them up, and pull one card for each element, for general messages for each element, and then we'll do another spread with 2 more decks. So for the fire signs, because you guys head off the zodiac, beginning with Aries, Leo, Sagittarius, Major Arcana card 17, the Star, which represents the sign of Aquarius. Isn't this funny that the Temperance card just came up for you and I said that's tied to Aquarius? So I think it's funny that your card is now the Star, which represents them. Earth signs, Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn. This is your energy. It is major, it is the Five of Pentacles, which is about a feeling of being left in the dark, left in the cold. I'm stressing it's a feeling. It's like fear of lack, basically. I'm going to summarize it like that. Air signs, my fellow Geminis, Libras, and my fellow Aquarians. Our card is of the water element, the Four of Cups in reverse. And lastly, water signs, Cancer, Scorpio, Pisces. Your card is the Nine of Wands, upright. The strength, ability, wherewithal to face any and everything that comes your way. Even if you feel like you don't have anything left to give, this card shows up to say, yes, you do. Yes, you do. So basically for all of us, the Six of Cups in reverse is about like staying focused on the present and looking toward the future and not so much trying, getting stuck or lost in the past or the good old days. We got to live for today. It's a reminder of that. And it looks like some of the signs, particularly the air signs, maybe we haven't been living that much. And our card is going to show up to say it's time to get going. But let me talk about the Six of Cups a little bit more. In love, it can mean that we're finally going to start dealing with some sort of issue that we've been avoiding with regard to love, whether it's in a committed relationship, something that we've been sweeping under the rug, or if we're single and, we got to check ourselves maybe and look at what we've been doing or not doing that could be blocking us from a relationship. And again, to use the air signs as a quick example, ours could be we've been holding on to some like loves or images of love, memories of love and stuff from the past. When we're ready to finally let go of those ghosts is what the Four of Cups in reverse means specifically to love. So I'm going to jump over now to the fire signs, again, Leo, Aries, Leo, and Sagittarius. And in the general sense, the star is a good omen. It's about prayers being answered, wishes being granted, dreams coming true. It's about online dating and other forms of communication involving technology, texting, FaceTime, Skype, all that kind of stuff. You may be sending pictures or to one another or videos, or if it's talking about something maybe on a more national scale, it can be about that, videos and things going viral, or everybody looking at the same picture or something on the news or in the media, and it's the topic. It's a great time to meet somebody in terms of love, or if you're already in a committed relationship, it could be going to the next level. That may be an answer to your prayers or your dreams. You're finally getting that thing. It's very important to remain focused, especially if you do have some sort of specific intention that you've been trying to bring to bear. Keep your eyes on that prize this week. Moving on to the earth signs, again, Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn, Sun, Moon, Rising. We're talking to you now with this Five of Pentacles, not one of my favorites, I'm sure for obvious reasons. It can be about a feeling though. So it doesn't mean you're necessarily in this situation, but that's where your mind is. You ever heard that expression, free your mind and the rest will follow? Where our mind is has a lot to do with where we are emotionally at any given time. So, this is about you thinking positive too. Sometimes it can feel like you've been left out in the cold, like there's nobody around for you when you need it. And maybe you're that person that's around for everybody else, especially being an earth sign. You guys are dependable, committed. You say you're going to do something, you do it. You see it through, you follow. I mean, and you're probably like equally that way if you say you're not going to. There's like no middle ground. And speaking of ground, you're very grounded, you're very practical, very down to earth. So you can explain things to people in a way that is the most sensible about going about stuff. So you probably are there for other people a lot, and maybe there isn't that doesn't really normally happen or happen that often where people are there for you. You could also be feeling like everybody else in the world has everything and you're the only one that doesn't have what you need or what you want, and you're the only one suffering. So you definitely got to get your mind out of that headspace and know that that's not the case, right? Just think positively and break free of the negative thinking, and you'll be able to manifest what is good and what is positive for yourself into your life. In love, you may have like your eyes on somebody or your heart set on somebody that isn't treating you the way you want to be treated or that they should treat you. The relationship isn't going the direction that you'd hoped. Again, it's about feeling just like left out in the cold, like abandoned. And it can be about your own issues, maybe from your past. If we refer back to our overall energy, the Six of Cups in reverse, maybe from your past, like that's causing some sort of fear of abandonment, fear of rejection, fear of commitment, something that is blocking you from moving forward in a relationship. So again, you do want to think very, very positively with this card coming up in this area as well. You may want to also, if you're single and you just got like images of, again, the way love should be, which I sort of touched on with the Six of Cups, it may be time for you to change those images to something else and open yourself up to other means of being happy, right? Other possibilities of other people making you happy. Maybe you have your heart set on one ex from the past and they're just not returning. And it's really time to let that fantasy go so that you can move forward with your life, because you don't want to be stuck in the past. Gemini, Libra, and Aquarius with the Four of Cups in reverse, we too have to be careful about like getting stuck in a negative headspace and wallowing in self-pity. Oh, woe is me, or if only this was this way, if only that was that way, or if only, in the past I had done this, or I hadn't done that, or if only we were still in the good old days, and if only my life wasn't ruined and wasn't over and I had no future. Like, be careful of all of this sort of potential self-deprecation and the potential to manifest negativity into your own life, and instead turn it around to something positive. Count your blessings, think about positive thoughts the same way I told the other signs, especially if there is something that you want to manifest, so that you can. We do not manifest good in our lives with negative thoughts in our head. It just doesn't work. In terms of love, as I mentioned before, as an example, we can finally be ready to let go of that memory of the ex or that image of the perfect man or woman or whatever it is that we've had in our head, or the perfect relationship, and maybe open ourselves up to what the universe wants to bestow upon us in this present time, living our best life right now and looking forward to the future. Oh, in work, air signs, you may finally be getting that push to get up and get out of an unhappy work situation. And the Six of Cups, actually, as it relates to work, is about like that honeymoon phase finally having worn off and things not necessarily being so great, or you've taken off your rose-colored glasses and you're realizing that it's not what it's cracked up to be. So you may be wanting to move on. Did I mention work with the earth signs? I don't think I did. It could be like, well, some of you may be out of work or underemployed perhaps, and or it's also positive to be feeling like burdened, like overwhelmed or burdensome upon other workers, like you can't keep up or something like that. Again, I think this is in your, it has a lot to do with your mental. So that's what that's still what I would ask you to focus on. But air signs, you may actually be looking to get out and get yourself into another situation if that's doable and possible for you. So all the best with that. All right, so moving on to the water signs. Again, your card, Cancer, Scorpio, Pisces, is the Nine of Wands upright. And it just means that, you might feel overwhelmed. Just like I just told the air signs, you may feel like something is too much, or like you don't have any more fight left in you. You just can't do it anymore. But the card shows up to say that it's not true. It's helping you. It's giving you the strength. You're going to be able to make it past that last hurdle or get that burst of energy that you need in order to accomplish, some things that are on your plate. At work, things might be tense right now for something. Maybe something from the past that was done incorrectly or something. Maybe it's coming up. It's rising to the surface again. But this can be worked out. Like, don't feed or contribute to the negativity. Think before you speak if you can. Try to be calm in dealing with other people, and just do your best work and do the best you can there. You'll be given. If let's say you're under the gun, you missed the deadline or you're about to miss a deadline. Maybe you didn't realize it, but something pops up from the past. Like your alarm goes off, your calendar goes off. Ding! Remember this? You were supposed to complete this. And it's like, oh my God, I thought I was done. I cannot. And yes, you can. You will make it if you go ahead and put that effort into it. In love, remember I talked about Temperance, which is also in the element or suit of wands, representative of the sign of Sagittarius, being a card about being made whole. If you are single, this could be the time where you want to work on getting yourself whole emotionally, and maybe not so much looking for a relationship, so that when you are ready for a new relationship, the person that you attract into your life will also be whole. So, you don't necessarily rush this week to get into anything. I mean, if you meet somebody, then I'm not going to say don't go for it and don't give it your energy or attention. But for those of you who are hoping to, but don't really feel like you have it in you, it's probably because you need to work on you a little bit more. If you're already in a committed relationship, your partner may need some space, similar to the sun, surprisingly sometimes for some people, which is also the suit of wands and representative of the sign of Sagittarius. It can be about needing some space in a partnership. And the sun is like a 10 of wands. It's major arcana card 19, but what does 19 equal? 10, right? 1 plus 9. So it's like kind of the way my weird mind works, it's kind of like a 10 of wands, but like with extra strength. On that note, we'll do another spread, like I said. So I'll take this away and replace it with these, which I've also already shuffled. They're showing us something red right out of the gate. It's another Knight of Wands. He is passionate, adventurous, self-assured, and restless. A sudden event that needs immediate attention. Time is of the essence. Think things through carefully. Again, an Aries, Leo, Sagittarius, or someone likened to those traits or attributes, followed by major arcana card 16, life experience, or the Tower, a significant life event, a powerful revelation that leads to change. It is time to spread your wings. So the Tower is not this big, bad, horrible card that some people read it as. When I read it, first of all, it could have to do with an actual tower or structure, like a home moving or something going on with a home. It's followed by another 9 of fire, 9 of wands. Don't give up. Protect that which you've created, maybe your home, Maybe you're under the pressure, you're having trouble with rent or something, the struggles that are going on around the country, or mortgage. But have courage and believe in yourself. So this is telling you also think positively. And again, you're going to be given the energy, particularly you water signs. But now this is a card for everybody too, to share. Given the energy, the strength, the ability, whatever it is you need to get past some sort of hurdle that has arisen. And then the next card is another Ace of Wands in reverse. So again, this an Ace of Wands, a new opportunity coming, but does appear to be delayed. An exciting new opportunity, career advancement, change your life now. A Three of Fire, which means in the future, Three of Wands, in the future, things are going to be good. We've earned it. We've worked toward this abundance, and we should be patient as it manifests, but also keep working toward abundance. Things look very good. Have patience at this time and make long-term plans. And lastly, the Ace of Pentacles, the inflow of abundance, a promising business venture, and important documents or contracts. So I'm just going to throw these in at random, since I've looked at them. I think I just threw the Three of Wands on top of another Three of Wands, I think. The Nine of Wands I threw on top of another Three of Wands, and here's another Ace of Wands atop it. A wonderful new opportunity presents itself. It may come as a surprise, but you'll still want to leap into action and to passionately pursue every possibility. The Tower I just put atop the World, which is funny because they're a similar card too, but the Tower is like abrupt change, and the World requires patience, similar to that other Three of Wands, right, that we just saw. They require patience as the new thing manifests. All right, so we're going to move on to our only upright card right now, Major Arcana card 4, the Emperor. Organization and logic, structure and discipline, leadership. This can be about large corporations, government agencies, so something national, something global, something having to do with the DMV, or what other kind of government agencies do we come into contact with? Maybe like the court system, family court, housing court. Somebody may have something coming up this week along one of those lines. Alternatively, this can be about often an actual man who enters some sort of scenario or circumstance in your life this week. Maybe older. This could be that person that you get involved with romantically, or that has an interest in you romantically that is inappropriate, maybe because you're much younger. Or at work, it could be a colleague or a coworker, someone from whom you can learn that this, sometimes it's more important to be determined and organized and logical rather than emotional in dealing with any given situation. This could also be a father, maybe your own father or a father figure, right? Someone like that, or someone in authority, your boss. You know that saying, like he rules with an iron fist? That's how the Emperor can be seen. But the idea is that he's trying to help you to understand the importance of rule and order in some cases. And, so he's trying to benefit you, although it may not always seem like that. It can be very frustrating to deal with someone who comes across that way. And it's meant to help you to be able to move forward in a situation, but it can feel like it's stifling you, right? It can feel like it's holding you back because you're just like feeling like you're not necessarily on the same page with this person, and that they're not hearing you. So again, try some patience if that happens. I do want to mention one of the things on the Christian calendar that we're going to talk about after this spread is the feast. I don't really like calling it a feast. I don't know for lack of a better word, I'm calling it the feast of the beheading of St. John the Baptist. And I think that event gives way to potential energy that we may experience this week. Also involving like martyrdom, like, and I don't mean literal, like people dying necessarily. But I mean like sacrificing oneself. I talked about sacrificing oneself in the Leo moon reading and about trying to avoid that. It's very Aquarius. Trying to find the balance between the energies, for example, of Aquarius and Leo, which are also mirror opposites. And maybe not like just throwing yourself to the wolves. Although St. John the Baptist's martyrdom was about standing up for what he was right, what he believed was right, and what he believed in and who he believed in. So there's positives to that too, but you just want to, again, not unnecessarily sacrifice yourself. You can stand up for what you believe in, and you should stand up for what you believe in, and that's what the Seven of Wands means too, which we've seen. But you don't necessarily need to die on the sword. Think of the Ace of Swords. Let's find like a middle ground. And we go now to the King of Water. He is trustworthy, compassionate, respected, and cultured. He is also the Scorpio, perhaps, we talked about, or maybe a Cancer or a Pisces or someone likened to those traits or attributes. Open your heart and mind to those around you. Trustworthy and heartfelt advice and charity work. For me, charity work is like unconditional love, or it comes from unconditional love. I just flipped these cards over. So this King of Cups was essentially in reverse a moment ago. In love, I want to mention when the King of Cups is in reverse, it's representative of somebody and an energy of being willing to do anything they have to. So maybe this is tied to the self-sacrifice. Do anything they have to be happy and for love, and then that's positive. That would be a positive thing. So like where you do seem inappropriate or mismatched, again, one is older, one is younger, one is whatever. This could be like, I don't care who's saying that. I'm standing up for what I believe in, and what I believe in is this love, is my relationship. I'm going to protect it. I'm going to fight for it. Crowning the masculine, other than that, is the Page of Swords. Logical, truthful, curious and undiplomatic, a Gemini, Libra, or Aquarius, or someone likened to those traits or attributes. This is an intellectual challenge that calls upon your ability to think of a matching solution. If helpful information is put to you bluntly, accept the message without being bothered by the messenger. Masculine could be receiving a message or sending someone some sort of message. Or he could be coming into clarity. It could be coming through his intuition or something like that too. Surrounding the masculine this week, it's the Two of Pentacles. This one was also technically upside down a moment ago, although there are no reversals in this deck. But we saw the Two of Pentacles in reverse in the Rider-Waite deck too a few minutes ago. Too much going on at once. There's a need to make a decision. Consider a more playful approach. So again, this can be about the need to find some sort of balance in your life between like work and play. All work and no play makes Jack a dull boy. So you need to nurture yourself. It could be about like, do I want to continue working so many hours and so many days and my relationships are suffering, or I'm interested in love, but I don't have time to date because I'm putting all my effort into this. So it could be thinking about things like that. It's matters of the earthly that you're giving attention to, and very possibly a decision, an earthly decision that you're needing to make. Masculine subconscious. Here's the conflict. You are conflicted. An unwise choice. Learn what you can from this situation. Review everyone's motives. The Five of Swords. Now, in this placement, Again, masculine subconscious or conscious, like his thoughts could definitely be representative of being conflicted and being unsure of what to do. Or you could be thinking about some sort of situation, maybe involving gossip, that's tied to this Page of Swords, maybe. That could be the message, something negative that you sent out or that you received. Somebody that wants to argue, somebody that wants to debate, in a negative way. Crowning the feminine. These cards are usually not far behind from each other. When you see like the 5, you usually see the 7, the 9, the 3. They tend to come in pairs or groups. The 7 of Swords. Plans that need revision. More going on than meets the eye and poor timing. And they're here mirroring each other. Right? This 5 of Swords and the 7 of Swords. 7 of Swords, I say, represents the energy of joy stealing. Now, it could be somebody else stealing our joy and maybe literally stealing something from us or having stolen from something from us. It could be about something we've lost. Or if we can steal our own joy by failing to take risks or to be confident in ourselves and to have that esteem, to think about the High Priestess in reverse. If we are afraid to take a risk on an opportunity and we let it pass us by, we miss the opportunity. We robbed ourselves of that opportunity. We potentially robbed ourselves of joy, of happiness. And again, keep in mind, this can have to do with a relationship. But whether it does or not, it's something in which we're emotionally invested. So it's not an opportunity you want to miss. And I was just made to see, because I didn't look before, I failed to look before, the 8 of Swords right behind it. So there's that feeling of being trapped, which we saw come up earlier. An illusion of being trapped. A lack of self-confidence, like I just said here with this. And being afraid to take action. Exactly. So that would be potentially robbing ourselves of joy. In the area of love and or something or someone in which we are emotionally invested. Surrounding the feminine. Queen of Wands. Talented, brilliant, independent, and charming. Don't underestimate your ability to manifest your dreams. You may have several priorities vying for your attention at once, but you can do it. She is an Aries, Leo, or Sagittarius, or someone likened to those traits or attributes. And in the feminine subconscious, Major Arcana card 8, Justice, which is another card potentially about balance, restoration, the scales being made even. Like we talked about the 5 of Pentacles. Oh, everybody else is doing so well and I'm not. Reversal of fortune. Now it's your turn to do better. The Wheel of Fortune in reverse, right? Things were going that way. Now they're going this way because it has to match out, has to level out at some point. Fair decisions will be made after all the evidence is reviewed impartially. Have compassion for others and try to see all sides of a disagreement. Interesting that this is mirroring the 5 of Swords. This could be the disagreement. So feminine, if you're having to assess it, or if it was something that was said, maybe that challenged your integrity, maybe that's what was taken from you, your reputation, your integrity, that's what somebody robbed of you, maybe a male and or masculine energy. This is it coming back to you. The scales evening out. And this being exposed. Crowning, the 6 of Pentacles. Another card that can be about balance and equity, unconditional love for me in terms of love, or not only love and relationship, but in terms of in general, like, because it's, in many ways it's about paying it forward, whether it's through energy or time or money or something material, like being giving and generous. So to me, that's unconditional love, which this also says, remember? Or I said, the King of Cups is about charity work, it says here. And I said that to me, that's unconditional love. Your success and prosperity have allowed you to pay off debts, to acquire wise loans, or to receive a grant or scholarship. In return for heaven's blessings, be sure to share the wealth with others through donations of time or money to reputable charities. And this is about assistance that's coming to you from the universe, either directly or through like another person or something, another scenario. It's almost like money or whatever falling out of the sky, you know, a way out where there appeared to be no way out, all of a sudden materializing. It's a gift from God, basically, the Six of Pentacles in some form. Something is coming to you through no work at the time of your own. You know, at one time, you did something that warrants this. It's like your karma paying off very unexpectedly and seemingly randomly. At the root of foundation, Major Arcana card 20, renewal or judgment, which is also about abundance that is earned. And so you're being blessed somehow. It's time to get clarity about your life purpose and to make changes so that you're on the path most divinely suited to you. Forgive what has been without judgment and fearlessly embrace what's to come. Major Arcana card judgment represents the planet Pluto and the sign of Scorpio. Again, so this King of Cups could very well be a Scorpio that's significant in your life. It's about abundance that's earned for me. In relationships, it is can be representative of a crossroads to which we're coming, and we got to decide, like, where do we go from here, if anywhere. Sometimes we go further. Sometimes it's the end of the road, regardless of what type of relationship, you know, work relationship, familial, friendship, romantic, whatever. It's about second chances and second time around. Sitting here next to justice, it can be really about a legal decision, a legal matter. Somebody could be getting a second chance. Okay, you're getting probation this week, and it fell from God. Your lawyer got the information that they needed, or you got the information you needed, or you're getting a message, you're getting a note. Don't worry about it. You're not being deported. Don't worry about it. You're not going to jail. Don't worry about it. You don't have to pay that ticket. Don't worry about it. You're not getting evicted. Like all those kind of things. Specifically about relationships. Also, in terms of court, could be family court, could be divorce. Still positive. Maybe you've been trying for a long time to get the divorce. Finally, judge finally signs it. Finally, final. Also, what I was talking about with St. John the Baptist, his feast day is 8/29 or like 8/11. It's actually my younger sister's birthday. We're all born on like these feast days and stuff. Like I was born on Our Lady of Fatima, the day that Mary said to have appeared and told the town of Fatima, some things, showed herself, revealed herself to all of them. My son's birthday was yesterday. That's why I'm doing this reading so late. The feast day of the Queenship of Mary, which is a celebration of Mary as a mother of her son. So it's particularly special for me. And now my sister's birthday is coming up, and it is the feast day of St. John the Baptist. But I'm mentioning that because this too is an 8/11. So it could be particularly on that day or closer to that day, so toward the end of the week, like Friday, where this news is coming up or something is actually shifting in connection to this. Maybe that's why I was made to mention about not necessarily throwing yourself on the mercy of something or someone, trying to find that balance in between that and being overly confident, like a Leo. So, of course, that's not for everybody, but I guess somebody needed to hear that. And lastly, at the heart of the matter, it's another Three of Wands. Stop to take time to review and to make long-term plans, capitalizing upon your past successes. It's appropriate to pat yourself on the back for all of your accomplishments, but you may also need patience for the next phase to play out. So even in the area situation of jail, I'm getting like, so you could get that news, like you're getting out or something, your release date or whatever, but it may take a little bit more time. And speaking of 11s and of Leo, The advice for the masculine this week is Major Arcana card 11, Strength, which represents the sign of Leo. True strength is displayed through kindness, forgiveness, and compassion. You have tremendous personal power and courage. Strength is a positive card in any and every area of your life that it touches. It always means good things and the ability to face any and everything that comes your way and to deal with it and to get out. And for the feminine, we have yet a second Seven of Swords. Caution will help you to avoid the loss of valuables, including non-material resources such as time or peace of mind. Maybe this is what it could mean in terms of like not being a martyr and, going too far out of your way. Be aware of the results of your actions as well as what others might be doing behind your back. Like gossiping or, telling lies, being hurtful, something that, again, affects your emotions. And for those of you who want to hear now about St. John the Baptist more officially, let me get my laptop. So first, on the 24th, we have the feast day of St. Bartholomew the Apostle. And for a little bit more about him, I went to www.franciscanmedia.org. In the New Testament, Bartholomew is mentioned only in the lists of the apostles. Some scholars identify him with Nathanael, a man of Cana in Galilee, who summoned to Jesus by Philip. Jesus paid him a great compliment. Quote, "He is a true Israelite. There is no duplicity in him." End quote. Duplicity is an interesting word, right? It's about two. And Gemini. And this can be found in John 1:47. When Nathanael asked how Jesus knew him, Jesus said, quote, "I saw you under the fig tree." John 1:48. Whatever amazing revelation this involved, it brought Nathanael to exclaim, quote, "Rabbi, you are the Son of God. You are the King of Israel." End quote. John 1:49. But Jesus countered with, quote, "Do you believe I told you that I saw you under the fig tree? You will see greater things than this." End quote. John 1:50. He was one of those to whom Jesus appeared on the shore of the Sea of Tiberias after his resurrection. See John 21, 1-14. They'd been fishing all night without success. In the morning, they saw someone standing on the shore, though. No one knew it was Jesus. He told them to cast their net again, and they made so great a catch that they could not haul the net in. Then John cried out to Peter, quote, "It is the Lord." End quote. When they brought the boat to shore, they found a fire burning with some fish laid on it and some bread. Jesus asked them to bring some of the fish that they'd caught and invited them to come and to eat their meal. John relates that although they knew it was Jesus, none of the apostles presumed to inquire who he was. This, John notes, was the third time Jesus appeared to the apostles. Bartholomew or Nathanael? We're confronted again with the fact that we know almost nothing about the apostles, yet the unknown ones were also foundation stones, the 12 pillars of the new Israel, whose 12 tribes now encompass the whole earth. 12 times 12, 144, like the 144,000. Their personalities were secondary without thereby being deemed to their great office of bearing tradition from their firsthand experience, speaking in the name of Jesus, putting the word made flesh into human words for the enlightenment of the world. Their holiness was not an introverted contemplation of their status before God. It was a gift that they had to share with others. The good news was that all are called to the holiness of being Christ's members by the gracious gift of God. And as soon as I started to read about where it said it was a gift that they had to share with others, I thought about this Six of Pentacles, and then I referred to as a gift from God, and that's how this sentence ended. The gracious gift of God. So if you are blessed this week somehow, definitely try to pay it forward and bless others whether it's financially, whether it's with time, whether it's something material. Be generous, give of yourself. The simple fact is that humanity is totally meaningless unless God is its total concern. Then humanity, made holy with God's own holiness, becomes the most precious creation of God. Saint Bartholomew is the patron saint of plasterers. Interesting. And moving on to the feast of the beheading of John the Baptist. I went to communityofjesus.org, my first time on this page, I believe. Today is a holy day on which we pay honor to the martyrdom of John the Baptist, beheaded at the drunken whim of Herod Antipas. St. John was forerunner not only of Christ's birth, but also his innocent death at the hand of human wickedness. Many followed John and looked to him for hope. He was to prepare the way and was not himself the way. John gave his life and death to fulfill his call and to lead others to Jesus, his Savior. John's persecutor, Herod, demanded not that he should deny Christ, but only that he should keep silent about the truth. Okay, that could come up too. Somebody could be trying to get you to keep silent about the truth. And maybe that's why there's a conflict. You know the truth, maybe about a feminine energy or entity, and possibly an actual female, and you need to be honest about it. You need to correct the record if you're in the position to do that, whether it's in work or again a friend, a relationship, whatever. Regardless of threat and imprisonment, confident of God's loving grace, John courageously spoke the truth, repentance, and salvation in the face of Herod's disgraceful actions. May we, like John, answer the call with our hearts. May others see in our lives the joy of knowing and serving Jesus. Now, of course, I know that not everybody that watches my channel knows and serves Jesus. I myself am not religious at all. Although I am a minister, a pastor. So I can talk to you about Jesus. I've studied it. I know it well, but I'm not boxed into religion or a particular denomination or faith. Anyway, with the dice, we're beginning to try again. Weekend away and party. Spirit says, eat cake. That could be what the party's about, somebody's birthday or something, or some other celebration. Congratulations, if that's what's in order. Happy birthday to Virgos, if that's what's in order. It's 50-50, which is another message potentially about balance or give and take, or the ability to both give and receive, the necessity of being able to both give and receive, being generous with other people, having them be generous with us. All of that, it's 50-50. And lastly, dirty movie, which I mentioned pictures and viral videos or exchanges between friends or couples, and then online dating and all that kind of stuff. And for me, that is also potentially tied to dirty movie. Hope you guys have enjoyed this week's general reading. I will be back with the love reading. Namaste.